Speaking of Twitter, Lucas, I wanted to bring this up as well. I think I saw you tweet this. I might be mistaken, but I think I saw you tweet this before SmackDown on Tuesday, that you were predicting a main roster call-up that night on SmackDown for the Authors of Pain, which got me thinking. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a very good possibility. Now, I know people are talking about that after TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and they lost the tag titles. And I know I saw some report a couple days ago saying they were going to reveal the attackers of Breezango on SmackDown this week. Of course, they did not. I don't know if they ever will. But Authors of Pain would make sense. I know they've been in NXT the entire time the angle's been going on, but putting them on SmackDown, they need more heel tag teams anyway. And from what I heard, I don't read the NXT taping spoilers. I just heard they were not a part of the tapings, which is bizarre, considering they were the former NXT Tag Team Champions. You would expect them to get a rematch, but it seems like they're moving forward with Sanity versus Red Dragon. So it looks like Authors of Pain might be main roster bound soon. Are you feeling the same way, Lucas, if your tweet was any indication? And what would you do with those guys on the blue brand, if not Monday Night Raw?
Right. Well, I would definitely say you need those guys on SmackDown right now, because you're right. Like, the SmackDown Tag Team division is suffering so much. Not that the Raw one isn't, but the Raw one is just a little bit stronger, given the fact that they have Ambrose and Rollins at the top there, along with the Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus. Those are already, major stars. But SmackDown really, and now with the injury to Xavier Woods on SmackDown, the New Day's probably going to take more time off again. So I wouldn't say that Raw division needs the Authors of Pain more than SmackDown does. SmackDown definitely needs more depth on their tag team division roster. I know Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable are now a team, and that's going to be a thing. But I don't think they'll be enough to really entertain us as far as the tag team division is concerned. And besides, they're going to need some opponents, right? They're going to need some rivals. I think you throw in the Authors of Pain there, and you can do some really cool stuff between those two teams. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin against the Authors of Pain. Oh my God, could you imagine those kind of matches? And the Usos really are the only heel tag team on the SmackDown roster, but you need more teams. Like you need more competition. Otherwise, it's just going to be two teams going at it back and forth for a while, and that's going to suck. So you need a fresh team there to really dominate, pick up some momentum, and throw in some competition for the New Day and the Usos as far as who's the better heel tag team and whatnot. So I would definitely have them debut very, very soon. I think if you throw them in, they could definitely dominate and make a quick impact, especially given their size and the fact that Vince McMahon loves big guys. I mean, I could see them getting a push right off the bat instantly, and you insert them into a feud with Benjamin and Chad Gable. They could really do some cool things there, or even with Breezango, as you said. But I wouldn't mind a feud with either team, to be quite honest with you, because I think it would make for great television. You have a comical team take on a very serious, nonsense team that just wants to kick ass and dominate in the Authors of Pain. That would be great. Two teams are complete opposites of each other. Or you could just have the traditional, very good, talented, professional wrestling tag team and Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable against two big guys, and Benjamin and Chad Gable become the instant underdogs in that feud, and you could make a really great story there. But I tweeted that because I see what you're seeing. Like, SmackDown is suffering so badly right now in general, but the tag team division specifically, and you need to throw some attention over to that tag team division, and I think if you call them up, they would accomplish that and add more legitimacy to their tag team, because right now, I can't think of a tag team in that division that is taken seriously other than the Usos. And yes, I know Benjamin and Chad Gable are a team, but there's a lot of people calling for them to break up already because they want to see a feud between those two and a match at Mania with Benjamin and Gable. I think you had suggested that. That would be cool to see that. But the fact that no one really is considering them a tag team yet goes to show you that the division is not being taken seriously. So I think if you throw in the Authors of Pain, you get a lot of these tag teams to bond with one another and come together to take them out. It'd really be great, and their reign on NXT, it's been pretty solid. It's been pretty good and menacing, and you keep that momentum going on the main roster over on SmackDown. Maybe you put the titles on them for a while. They dominate. I think it'd be pretty cool. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have the makings of a good tag team division. I mean, the matches that the Usos have been having with the New Day have been exceptional. Every single pay-per-view match they've had has been great. of course, you run into the issue, as people have been saying for a while now, what do you do after that feud concludes? And we're nearing that point. I know they're going to have they just had a match this past week. For what reason, I have no idea. I know the winner was to choose the stipulation for the next match, but you could have done that some other way without giving away another New Day Usos match. But regardless, that should run its course in the next few weeks. They should do a tag title match the next week or two on SmackDown. And once that's over, what else do you do? Like you said, we got Benjamin and Gable. They're showing early signs of some great potential as a tag team. You got Breezango. The Ascension's there. No one cares about them. The Hype Bros have hardly been on TV in recent months. I don't know what's going on with them. The Colognes, I think, are hurt. Primo, I think, has a knee injury or something, so they've been out for a while. And that's really about it. They don't have many more tag teams beyond that. So bringing up the Authors of Pain to that brand, I think, would be for the best. They already held the tag titles in NXT for a long time. There's nothing more for them to do down there. It would be cool if they brought up Paul Ellering with them. I'm not sure if he would be up for it. I think the whole purpose of having him in NXT was because he didn't have to travel much. They don't tape too much, other than once a month. So I don't know if he'd be a part of the package or not. But those guys have come a long way. I know a lot of people talk about NXT being like this, it's a third brand, and it absolutely is, and they bring in indie guys, and they use them well for the most part on NXT. But the Authors of Pain are a prime example of a tag team, and I said this on Twitter a while ago, that they are a prime example of a tag team that WWE has built up from scratch. Like, when they first showed up, they didn't have much experience at all. And really, in a short span of time, they've become a very, very good tag team. And that's not only with guys like American Alpha and DIY. They've had good matches with pretty much almost every single team they faced up against. They had a great match with Sanity of all teams at TakeOver, which I was shocked by, but they did. It was a very fun match. So they call them up to SmackDown would definitely be for the best. Them with the Usos, New Day, Breezango, Hype Bros, Benjamin, and Gable. They need more heel tag teams anyway in that show. So I think it'd be for the best, and hopefully it's only a matter of time before we see them called up. It could be as soon as next week, because like I said, they're not scheduled to be in NXT anytime soon. So I imagine they are main roster bound very, very soon.